Hello, my dear friends. How are you all? I hope you all are good and fantastic. So today we are going to discuss area related to circle. Okay. So, my dear friends, this is lecture 1. I hope you will enjoy this lecture. Okay. So, now, without wasting the time, let's start. Yes. So, today we are going to discuss introduction of area related to circle. Okay, my dear friends. So, my dear friends, in this lecture, we are going to discuss a lot of formulas, a lot of terms related to the circles. Okay, so first of all, we have to know what is circle. So, my dear friends, in previous lectures, we already learned about the circles. What is circles? What is the definition of circles? What is circumference? What is area? Radius, secant, tangents? A lot of things we already learned about these. Okay, so now here we just revise the terms. What is circle and their terms and their parts. Okay, so we know that a circle is a collection of, yes, a circle is a collection of points which is equidistant from a fixed point named as center. Okay, and we can say that a circle is a closed loop. A circle is what? Yeah, circle is a closed figure, closed curve. Okay, my dear friends. Okay, and it is a 2D shape. It is a 2D figures. 2D figure. Okay, it is 2D figure and it is closed curve. Okay, my dear friend. So now we can say a circle is a locus of points moving around a fixed point at a fixed distance away from the point. So basically we know that, okay, so the fixed distance from a point is the radius of the circle. We know that what? The fixed distance from the point is called the radius of the circle. Okay, my dear friend. So in real life, there are a lot of examples of the circles like wheel, pizza. Lot of people are fond of pizza. Okay, circular ground. Okay, my dear friends, so there are a lot of examples in the real life which is related to the circle. Okay, my dear friends. So, my dear friends, we know that this is the radius, and if we extend to the next point of the circle, then it will become what? Diameter. It will become what? Yes, diameter. Okay, so the relation between diameter and radius is what? Diameter and radius is d is equals to twice of r. D is equals to twice of r. Means diameter is equals to twice of radius, or we can say radius is equals to half of diameter. Half of diameter. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So now, my dear friends, let's move on. Yes. So now, my dear friends, let's come on. Circumference of circle. What is circumference of a circle? Okay. So, my dear friends, a perimeter of closed figure is defined as the length of its boundary. Perimeter is what? Perimeter of any of the closed figures is defined as the length of its boundary. Okay, my dear friends. When we talk about the circles, the perimeter is a different name which is called as circumference. Which is named as what? Circumference of a circle. Okay. So this circumference is the length of the boundary of a circle. Okay. If we open the circle to form a straight line, then the length of the straight line is the circumference. Okay, let's suppose we have a circle like this, and if we open to in a rope, so the length of the rope is what? Length of the rope is what? Length of the rope is, yeah, circumference of a circle. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. Okay, so Now what is the formula of the perimeter or circumference of the circle? Okay, so let's suppose this is R. Okay, so the circumference of a circle which is represented as C is equals to 2 pi r, is equals to what? 2 pi r, or we can write it as pi into d. We can write it as what? Pi into d. Okay, so this is what? This is the formula of circumference. This is what? This is the formula of circumference. I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. Okay, so if we know the radius and here the value of pi is always equals to 3.14 or 22 upon 7. So this is the value of pi. Okay, so in the question it is given that either in the question it is 3.14 or in the question it is 22 upon 7. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand this thing. So now let's move on. Yes, now comes on the area of the circle. Area of the circle. So my dear friends, area of a circle is a region covered or enclosed within its boundaries, and it is measured in square units. Okay, let's suppose we have a square like this. So the region covered by this closed curve is what? Is the area of a circle. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So any geometrical shape has its own area. So this area is the region that occupies the shape in a two-dimensional plane. Now my dear friends, the area covered by one complete cycle of the radius of the circle on a two-dimensional plane is the area of that circle. I hope you get this point. So now how we can calculate this? Okay, so what is the formula of the area? So the formula of the area is that let's suppose we have radius r. Okay, so the formula of the area is pi r square. What is pi r square? Okay, this is the formula of the area. This is in square unit. Okay, and the value of pi is 22 upon 7 or 3.14. Okay, and r is the radius. Okay, my dear friends, so I hope you get this point. So now, my dear friends, derivation of area of circle. Okay, so area of circle can be visualized and proved using two methods. So the first method is determining the circle's area using rectangles. Using what? Rectangle. And second is determining the circle area using triangles. So we can determine the area using rectangles and using triangles. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So now, okay, so my dear friends, let us understand both the methods one by one. Okay, yes, so the method one is using areas of rectangles. Okay, using areas of rectangles. Okay, so firstly, the circle is divided into 16 equal sectors. Now we are doing circle divide into 16 equal sectors, and the sectors are arranged in this figure like this. You can see this. So the area of the circle will equal to that of the parallel shaped figure formed by the sectors, like this. So the area of this circle is equals to this area of this parallelogram. Okay, I hope you get this point. So my dear friends, so the sectors have equal area. So every sectors have equal areas. Okay, so each sector will have an equal arc length. Okay, each sector will have an equal arc length. So the red colored sector will be contribute the half of the circumference. But blue colored sector will contribute to the other half factors. Okay, to the other half. Okay, so my dear fans, if the number of sectors cut from the circle is increased, the parallelogram will look like a rectangle like this, with equal length to pi r. With equal length to what? Pi r. Okay, and breadth is equals to radius. If we open this circle, we get like this parallelogram or like this rectangle. Okay, so now we know that what is the area of the rectangle, this rectangle. Okay, so area of rectangle is equals to, now in this case we know that area, what is area of rectangle? Length into breadth. What is length into breadth? And we know the value of length is what? Pi r. And the value of breadth is what? R. So we get pi r square. We get what? Pi r square. So this is the area of rectangle. And we know that area of rectangle is equals to area of circle, which is equals to pi r square, which is equals to what? Pi r square. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So now let's move on. Yes, so the next is using areas of triangle. Using areas of triangles. Okay, now we have a circle like this, and fill the circle with radius r and with the concentric circles. Okay, so in this circle there are a lot of circles. Okay, now after cutting the circle along the indicated line, we get the triangle like this, which is spreading the light. So the result will be the triangle. So the base of the triangle is equal to the circumference of this triangle, which is equals to 2 pi r, which is equals to what? 2 pi r. Okay, my dear friends. And height will be equal to the radius of the circle. So the height of this triangle is what? Radius of the circle. Now, my dear friends, we know that area of triangle is what? Half into base into height, and we know base is what? 2 pi r, and height is what? R. So 2 will be cancelled from this 2. Okay, so we get pi r square. Okay, which is equals to the area of circle. So area of circle is what? Pi r square. So my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. Okay, my dear friends, so now let's move on. Yes, so now we have to do some questions. Okay, yes, So the first question is, the radii of two circles are 19 centimeter and 9 centimeter respectively. Now we have two circles C1 and C2. Okay. Find the radius of the circle. Find the radius of the circle which has a circumference equal to the sum of the circumference of two circles. Okay. And the circle C3, we have a circle C3 which is equals to circumference of circle C1 plus circumference of the circle C2. Okay, so now first of all we have radius of first circle which is equals to what? 19 centimeter. From this we can find the circumference of first circle which is equals to 2 pi r. So we know the value of r. So 2 pi into 19 which is equals to 38 pi. Here we are leaving with the pi. Okay. We are not solving it further. So now radius of second circle is what? 9 centimeter. So the circumference of second circle which is equals to again 2 pi r, and this is become 2 pi into 9. So this will be 18 pi centimeter. 18 pi centimeter. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So now, the sum of circumference of two circles, the sum of circumference of two circles is equals to 38 pi plus 8 pi, 18 pi, which is equals to what? Yes, 56 pi. Now my dear friends, let the radius of the third circle which is equals to capital R. Okay, so now the circumference of the third circle which is equals to 2 pi capital R. Okay, and it is given that sum of the circumference of two circles is equal to circumference of the third circle. So we can write this 56 pi is equals to what? 2 pi r. From this pi will be cancelled. So we get r is equals to 56 divided by 2, and if we solve it, we get 28 centimeter. What is? Yeah, so we have the value of r is 28 centimeter. This is our answer. So my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. Okay. Yeah, so now let's move on. Yes, so next question is that the radii of two circles are 8 centimeter and 6 centimeter respectively. Find the radius of the circle having area equal to the sum of the areas of the two circles. Now in this case, we have given the area of the circle is equal to the sum of the areas of the two circles. Okay, so same in this case, we have to do radius of first circle is what? 8 centimeter. So area of first circle is what? Pi r square, which is equals to pi 8 square. So this will give 64 pi. Now radius of second circle is 6 centimeter. So the area of second circle is what? The area of second circle is pi r square, which is equals to pi into 6 square. So this will give 36 pi. Okay. So now my dear friends, according to question, the sum of first and second circle will be what? The area of sum of first circle and second circle, which is equals to 64 plus 36 pi. So this will give 100 pi. This will give what? 100 pi. Now let us assume that the radius of third circle is equals to r. So the area of third circle is equals to pi r square. Okay, and we know that it is given that area of the third circle is equals to area of the first circle plus area of the second circle. So we can write here as pi r square is equals to 100 pi, and this pi will be cancelled. We get r is equals to under root 100. So this will give 10 centimeter. So we have r is equals to 10 centimeter. This is our answer. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So now let's move on. Yeah, so the next question is, in this figure depicts an archery target marked with its 5 scoring region from the center outwards as gold, red, blue, black and white. The diameter of the region gold score is 21 centimeter and each of the other bands is 10.5 centimeter wide. So find the area of each of the 5 scoring regions. So my dear friends, we have diameter of gold region, which is equals to 21 centimeter. Okay, so the radius in this case, which is named as R1, which is equals to 21 by 2, which is equals to what? Yes, 10.5 centimeter. Okay, so now if we find the area of this region, means let's name as A1, which is equals to pi R1 square. Okay, pi R1 square. Now this will give pi 10.5 whole square, which is equals to what? If we solve this, we get 346.5 centimeter square. 346.5 centimeter square. Now in every band, now in each other band, 10.5 centimeter is added. Okay, so now let's talk about the, okay my dear friends, so radius of second circle, okay, which is equals to, so now my dear friends, we know that each band is wider as 10.5 centimeter. So now we have to add 10.5 centimeter to the radius of the first circle. So the radius of the first circle is 10.5 centimeter. So this will become 10.5 plus 10.5, which gives 21 centimeter. Which gives what? 21 centimeter. Okay, my dear friends. So now we can easily find the area of this second circle. So area of second circle is equals to pi r square, which is equals to what? Pi into 21 square. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So this will give 1386. Now we have to find the red region. So the red region is what? So the area of red region is what? If we subtract the area of second circle minus area of gold, means circle number 1. So we get area of red region, which is equals to area of second circle minus area of gold. Okay, so we have 1386 minus 346.5. Okay, so this will give 1039.5 centimeter square. So this is the answer. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. Now similarly, the radius of third circle is the radius of third circle is what? Which is equals to, which named as R3, which is equals to what? 21 plus 10.5 centimeter, because the previous circle having radius 21, so in this we have to add 10.5, so this will give 31.5 centimeter. Okay, and radius of fourth circle means R4 is equals to, now in 31.5 we have to add 10.5, so this will give 42 centimeter. Okay, now the radius of fifth circle R5, which is equals to 42 plus 10.5 centimeter, so this will give 52.5 centimeter. Okay, my dear friends, now for the area of nth region, we can find directly for the area of nth region. Area is equals to area of circle n minus area of circle n minus 1 figure. Okay, so it means we have the value of n is 3. Okay, so the area of blue region, which is this, is equals to area of third region minus area of second circle. Area of what? Area of third circle minus area of second circle. So this will give, so now we have to find for n is equals to 3. Okay, my dear friends, so my dear friend, this will give area of blue region, which have n is equals to 3. So this is equals to area of third circle minus area of second circle. Okay, so this is equals to pi into 31.5 square, because the radius of third circle is 31.5 centimeter. So this will give 31.5 centimeter square minus area of second circle. So we have area of second circle is what? So we have area of second circle is 1386. What? Yes. So this will give what? 1386. So after solving this we get 1732.5 centimeter square. Okay my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So now we have to find the area of black region. So area of black region in this, and we have 4. Okay, so this is equals to area of fourth circle minus area of third circle. Okay, so the area of fourth circle is what? Pi into radius of fourth circle is, we have 42 square, minus area of third circle, which is this. Okay, so this will give 3118.5. Okay, so this will give 5544 minus 3118.5, which is equals to 2425.5 centimeter square. If you solve this, then you can get this result. So now we have to find the for n is equals to 5 for white region. Okay, for white region. Now area of white region, which is n is equals to 5. So for this we get area of fifth circle minus area of fourth circle. Okay my dear friend, so this will give, we have pi into 52.5 centimeter square minus area of fourth circle is what? 5544. Okay, and if we solve it, this will give 8662.5 minus 5544. Okay, so this will give 3118.5 centimeter square. Okay my dear friends, so this is our answer. Okay, so this is the method to solve this question. Okay my dear friends, so now let's move on. Yeah, so the next question is that the wheels of a car are of diameter 80 centimeter each. So how many complete revolutions does each wheel make in 10 minutes when the car is traveling at a speed of 66 km per hour? 66 km per hour. So my dear friends, let's solve this question. So first of all, the radius of car's wheel is equals to 80 by 2, because we have the diameter is 80, so this will give 40 centimeter. Okay, now so the circumference of the wheel is what? So the circumference of wheel is equals to 2 pi r, is equals to what? 2 pi r. So my dear friends, if you solve it, we get 80 pi, because we have r is what, 40, and 40 into 2 is what, 80, and pi as it is. So this is in centimeter. So my dear friends, in one revolution, the distance covered is equals to circumference of the wheel. So now my dear friends, yes, in one revolution, the distance covered of the wheel which is equals to what? Circumference of the wheel, which is equals to 80 pi centimeter. Okay my dear friends. Now it is given that the distance covered by the car in 1 hour is 66 km. So the distance covered by the car, okay, in 1 hour, which is equals to 66 km. Okay my dear friend. So now we have to convert this kilometer into the centimeter. Okay, so first of all we have to convert. So the distance is equals to 66 into 1000. So this will convert into meter. Now for centimeter we have to multiply by 100. So we get 66 into 10 raised to power 5 centimeter. 10 raised to power 5 centimeter. And now in 10 minutes, the distance covered will be what? So my dear friends, the distance covered in 1 hour is equals to 66 into 10 raised to power 5 centimeter. Okay, so for 10 minutes is what? For 10 minutes we have 66 into 10 raised to power 5 divided by 60 into 10. So this will give 11 into 10 raised to power 5 centimeter. So in 10 minutes the distance covered will be 11 into 10 raised to power 5 centimeter. Okay my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So distance covered by car is what? 11 into 10 raised to power 5 centimeter. Okay, so now my dear friends, we have to find the revolution. So for revolution, so the total number of revolution, of the wheels is equals to what? Is equals to distance covered by the car, okay, divided by circumference of the wheel. And we know the value of distance covered by the car is 11 into 10 raised to power 5, okay, divided by 80 pi. After solving this, we get 4375. So the total revolution is 4375. Okay my dear friends, so this is our result. I hope my dear friends you understand these things. Okay, so my dear friend, this is enough for today, and we will meet in the next lecture with the amazing topics. Okay, so my dear friends, thank you very much guys for listening me, and take care and goodbye.